Okay, we just had a CPI print this morning, almost in line, 0.1 off. Some are saying it's in line. So just starting off, as I always do, checking out the daily levels, which I've just anecdoted and marked out here. Interested in this level of supply above, this daily 50 SMA. Moving down to a 1 hour. You can see that we've held this block. Okay, so we pulled down into it, we failed supply, we tapped it finally, flushed down into it, and we're holding it. So now interested to see if I can get a continuation set up. And dig lower. Missed this bounce here. Was, I assume, a fib retracement. Yeah, nice retracement right into the golden pocket. Okay, rebalancing this imbalance from the flush. We're starting to hold this level here, so it's of key interest now. VWAP sitting just above. Can actually do a new anchor. Quite like that 18 level here if we can retest it. Put a bull trap in and then roll over. Issue always with CPIs, you can get washed out really quickly and pushed out really quickly. Break down under this demand. Some level of consolidation here. Just basically the shoulder yesterday. Okay, so we built this left head, inverse and right before breaking back out and expanding. And most of this was just a squeeze. So we can pull back all the way back into range. So you're watching my 5-minute chart. I have 4 screens up at the moment with book map and 15-minute and the 1 hour and the Dixie and the VIX and the SPY ETF as well. So Dixie is pushing, held support the last few sessions, is looking to break out. And VIX is looking to close the gap now, under 17. So if VIX does close that gap and stays heavy, I expect the market here to hold and look to retrace back up to the high. If it closes the gap and gets a bounce, obviously we're going to have more selling pressure step into the market. I'll just make another chart on here so you guys can see what I'm doing while I'm trading on my main screen. So yeah, so the flow zones held us down. tagged in with VWAP and previous day highs. That was a good area to short. I just wasn't ready for it. Wasn't at my desk quite in time and didn't want to chase it lower. Market just bleeding out now, back into previous day close level. We've got some liquidity sitting all the way down to 400. So this here is also an old gap, so I think we filled 50% of it. Yeah. Did a partial gap fill here. Sorry for all the yawns, very early morning here still in LA. I'll wait for a good position here for this new TOPSTEP account that I've started, just to show everyone on YouTube that it is possible to complete these. You just have to be a sniper. So you've got the bounce that's trying to hold the demand it created down here on previous day close now. So shorts who attacked this first bounce, okay, starting to cover into here. You might get sort of a basketball effect now. Might get another lower high, and we have to see if it makes a lower low for a continuation down, or if it just traps late shorts in and starts to curl and turn around. Okay, because all this print was very quick. It's just pretty much, you know, in seconds, especially this first print. This would have been in seconds on CPI news. Okay, so it probably did some whipsaw action, like down and back up and then back down. So in 15 minutes, you know, we've gutted everything that we put into the market since 4 o'clock yesterday. So all of London, sorry, all of Asia and all of London has now been washed out of the market. And where we tapped back up would have been sort of around their core positions. And anyone who took a swing long last night before close, to give them the opportunity to get out flat. Those are always nice shorts. You know, these shorts here where people are underwater and they're going to get out flat. These are good, pretty good, safe shorts. The likelihood of putting a squeeze on there is very unlikely. It's much more likely to happen down here, where shorts get greedy. We are hugging the EMAs, the flow zones, just hugging them all the way down at the moment. So just marking out my pre-market levels, so they're orange boxes. These are my regular trading hour pre-market levels, or extended hours for ETFs. Okay, so for sure I've missed the best place so far. Okay, which was either this failure on supply, but if you didn't pay the news, you could have taken this bounce down. Not really interested in getting short down here yet. Potentially could be a day that I get nothing. That's also okay. Cannot be forcing myself onto the market. If bulls come in, we're going to get a squeeze at the market straight through this with a W pattern. Okay, W pattern here, potential squeeze through, and then we have to see what we do. Do we get a lower high and a failure into a lower low, or do we squeeze all the way back up? Dixie is definitely on a charge at the moment. It's broken out of its downtrend, and it's above its 5-day and 20-day SMAs, and it's breaking out of the flow zone, while VIX has almost closed the gap. It's getting close. It's at 1720 and the gap is at 17065. So I'm paying close attention to that, just in case it finds support in the gap. There is demand underneath, which it's held twice already, and that's all the way down to pretty much 1650. Under that we have another gap, which would take us down to 1630 if it wanted to do a bigger gap fill on the VIX. So in general, it's tricky because the VIX is fading and the Dixie's ripping and we're fading. We're not all aligned. I would like to see the VIX pull down and give ES and NQ a chance to expand normally. We're not getting that. The further VIX comes down, when we start getting back into sort of single digits, then we're into potential bull territory. All the time we're above 16, I guess you could argue that there's a chance for it to hold and push back up, which would be a risk-off environment on the indices. So I am potentially looking at a fib within here. I need to find an area I'd be interested in. So it could be transition candle. This up here is definitely of interest to me. These areas here, just underside. This one would now be fresh, this one isn't. This demand isn't fresh. We're still in an uptrend on the hourly. We have broken structure here because we based above, but really true demand is here, so the swing point for me would be the previous day low at the moment. Yeah, 400 looks interesting on the H4. Just checking we don't have any more news drivers today. Looks pretty clear, apart from the Fed at market close, so .1 minute left till the open here. I'm probably just going to mute the mic until I take a trade and just leave some music on. So we'll speak back again soon. Okay, so I'm short here. Might have to stop out. Didn't take the profit. I was looking for the wash under the demand level. NQ's found a bounce. We're short against previous day close, and also I have my flow zone waves on my 3 minute there. They're not set properly on this chart, so I will move them in a minute so you can see. But if you have your trading view charts up, the flow zone indicator, you will see that we keep rejecting the fast one for now. I am tempted to add on. I've just got to be very careful of any squeeze out. Shaking my head here because it's holding this little demand box I've got in from the previous range, but Dixie is absolutely tearing and we're closing the gap on VIX, but holding like a range, and I'm expecting like a big wash and it just won't give it. I've added into this, added on this bear flag breakdown, so I might have to take one off in a minute if we don't get that washout, just to de-risk. Right into the bottom of demand. I'm expecting a big washout soon, but if it doesn't, then more and more shorts are going to get trapped. NQ starting to break down now. Light NQ through the lows ideally. Locking one in there at the bottom of the channel, and hopefully we can start digging deeper. VIX has now closed the gap, need to be careful. Loads of buyers stepping in here. Going to take this one off just in front of 400.
Order cancelled.
Okay, and then we'll hold runner. I can move this to break even. It's bottom of that range. Make sure I lock something in on it. Think about where this can go. Yeah, if we want to get really heavy, we can really tug, but it looks like it's going to stop me out.
Stop filled.
Stopped out on the runner. That's fine. It's how you got to trade. Okay, so first trade this morning, 612. Maybe I had it too tight. We will see. Yeah, so if we have a look in here, once we were under the EMA cloud and we started to break down, I looked for the fails through pre-market low, added on the bear flag breakdown on a lower time frame on a 1 minute, covered the wash. Okay, so I'm open to re-entries now. NQ still yet to wash these lows here. So you've got relative weakness in ES. So if NQ washes these lows and stays heavy, okay, it's got an opportunity to move down to some support structures. There's clearly one in here and one in here. That honestly might be all I get today. We'll let the IB set and go from there, but just given that it was CPI and that I missed this bounce here to get short into, I didn't want to take the pop at open. I was very tempted, but as soon as I saw Dixie go, then it made more sense to me to start getting short. Yeah, solid start on the new account. This is that psych level of 400. I don't have it in there, sorry. Let's make this set for all charts so you can all see it. Okay, so I had this marked in. Alright, this is the psychological level, 4,400. It's a good indicator of an over-under in the market. If we zoom out, Okay, this is a 30-minute with gaps. So we're coming down to the 50 SMA on the 30-minute with some structure underneath. Okay, and we've rejected the 10. We're coming down into the previous day open now. So yeah, I got knocked out of that runner. Unfortunate, really. It's going to cost me a little bit. Maybe I had it too tight, but I was very aware that we could really like just whip back up at any moment. But Dixie looks really strong now.
Iceberg NQ cell. Absorption spires NQ.
It's my book map going off in the background. I'm just going to go back to music here. I'll be back on mic when I do something. Okay, so looking for a potential trend join here. We've broken out of channel. We flipped supply. VIX has started to fail, put in a wick and failed. Dixie's sort of consolidating, which is a bit of a concern. Okay, so we have like a regular trading hours VWAP here and overnight hours VWAP is up here.
Yes.
This could just be 5-minute bounce to come back down. Again, all we've done is put in a wick over those so far. Okay, so where would I get long? Well, if we can put in a strong higher low down here and then start to expand, it looks a lot better. We might be in for an inside kind of day, as in within the range, not inside on the daily. Daily we expanded out. Yeah, we expanded out already. But here you got your IB high. It's likely to be the high of the day now for the levels that to be set and the IB low. So we might just trade between these ranges until we break out of one of those ranges. And once we get above the IB high, above the pre-market high, above the IB high, we have a real chance to expand up. Interesting, it held there really nicely.
Stop NQ buy.
And Q's still not taking that wick out. Still struggling. Could have just been a squeeze above that and fail. Here, looks like ES wants to turn on the boosters. Okay, so I'm going to interested in the dip now if it would give it to me.
Sweep and Q. Stop and Q buy. Stop and Q sell.
An absolute ripper. So just put the squeeze on there. See if we can pull back like into this structure down here. Very aware of its pre-market level and these sort of structures here. Huge flush down. So quite a lot of volatility. Like I said, we're in sensitive areas on all indices right now. No rush.
Sweep ES.
They ran a load of stops there before dumping it on the bitmap. And then Iceberg came in at the top, 300 orders. They're trying to hold this old level now. So they're trying to create this supply and flip it. Trying to create a flip block. Flow zones are still all pointing down. A 1 minute chart they have started to cross. But on a 5 minute and a 2 minute, you can see this 2 minute one's really nice. Huge rejection. Okay, so the IB levels are set now. So these are your low, your mid, and your high. So as a rule, like coming to this part of the day, trading from the midpoint is very hard, right? Because you've created your range each side for the morning since the opening bell. So you're in no man's land here. You're really in no man's land. Unless it's going to show a real tell. Okay, if you think about playing poker, if it's going to give you a tell and the EMAs are going to flip and we're going to flip this and all the indices are lining up and the Dixie's starting to drop and the VIX is starting to drop and you're like, yeah, we're gonna take this and ride it straight through the IB high and extend. Okay, then you can get long, but until that point, you are now in just chop land. You've got a pre-market level here, which we broke down from this morning. It's also previous day close. You've got VWAP. You've got the flow zone lines, like you've got everything telling you don't take me right now, right? And that's probably the hardest thing as a trader, is just respecting your rules. We can use all this liquidity now and break down. This is a better short in terms of where we're at than it is a long, because momentum is still to the downside. Still to the downside. You could think of this as,
Sweep and Q.
where is it? Okay, you could think of this as a potential flag. Very steep one. Okay, but this could be very controlled buying to run the stops out and now breaking down under, which is what it looks like to me. Okay, so we had the chance to base above, but the moment we extended, remember what I said? I said lightly that we're going to push up and retest VWAP. Okay, because we've rotated from the IB low, we've tested VWAP, and it instantly failed. There were so many sellers waiting up there. They ran all the stops and then just shoved into it. Like I said, there was a huge iceberg seller up there. Probably going to call it a day there. Might come back and revisit. This looks like a potential short to the downside, but really I'm seeing volume sort of starting to taper off. We're into sort of chop levels. Getting short here is a little bit more risky for me. We're in this midpoint. We've got, you know, H1 demand sort of sat right here. We've got a flow zone sat right here. Like, this is not something I'm really looking for right now. I think we probably balance out this area and then make a decision. What would be really nice into Friday or next week be this kind of look. Okay, use this liquidity for a wash down, that would be nice, or equally fake it and extend. Both of those viable. But yeah, that's me done for the day. If I see a setup later, I'll come back and take it. Added a couple hundred more. It was just a small scalp as we were dancing between demand, supply and VWAP. So I'm almost 10% of the way there on day one on this new TOPSTEP account. I do actually have 2 funded accounts already with TOPSTEP. So we will continue to do this challenge together. Hopefully it will show you that it's quite possible to get funded by a prop firm. I'm on a 150k challenge, which gives me nice leverage, nice room for risk management where you don't have to size up, okay, and you can make good money each day. So normally I trade 3 of these together, and that would have been a very nice day indeed. So until next time, please trade safe. Please like, share and comment on this video. Tag someone that you think this would be helpful for. I'll be doing a short intro course into ES futures soon, as well as loads of challenges to teach you how to trade each prop firm differently. And I've got an indicator suite completely free on the way showing my system, and that video will be dropping in the next week. So please like, subscribe. Until then, trade safe.